Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we are going to be talking about specifically the 2020 U.S. presidential primary race, and evangelical Christians. So, where are evangelical Christians now? I think this is a really important question, and the reason why is evangelical Christians are there's no two ways about it. A lot of people believe that they determined the results of 2016. And I don't think that's wrong. I think that there was some really, really, really important things that came out of 2016 with evangelical Christians. But evangelical Christians now are in a position where they're going to need to choose between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. So where does that leave us? Well, first of all, a lot of people are going to think that it's that issue. The issue that is probably more contentious than any issue in American history. Um, this issue really got cracking in 1973 and has really never calmed down since. Now, I think a lot of people think that evangelical Christians care about this. They don't. And here's why. So, one, there is a lot of talk around this issue, but the reality is absolutely no president on the red or blue has ever, ever, ever promised to rescind anything when it comes to that issue. And so, what was established in 1973, no blue or red politician has ever promised to end it. And from that perspective, most evangelical Christians understand that this thing is a third rail. It's never going to change, and I don't think this issue is nearly as large as the media portrays it being with evangelical Christians, because the evangelical Christians have essentially stopped caring on this issue at the macro level. I think a lot of people would contest this. That's my take. All right. So I think the big question was, why did evangelicals vote at the macro level for Donald Trump in 2016? It's a huge question, right? So, one, I will tell you right now, I don't think any evangelical Christian in the country actually believes that Donald Trump is an evangelical Christian. He has made it very, very clear with his statements, with his actions, that he is not. And honestly, his actions don't tell us that he's not. Evangelical Christians sin all the time. So if an evangelical Christian is doing terrible things, that doesn't mean they're not an evangelical Christian. But if they say something that clearly indicates they have never read the Bible all the way through, they don't read the Bible regularly, and that they feel they can pick and choose what they want to take from the Bible and what they don't want, then they're clearly not an evangelical. And Donald Trump has never been an evangelical, and he's not. The reason why why did people vote for Trump? Well, here you go. The media makes an evangelical Christian U.S. president utterly impossible. Utterly, utterly, utterly impossible. And the reason why is the media is all super left, super liberal people who have come out of super left, super liberal schools. And the reality is, not all, I would say 95%, and actually probably 98%, right? So you have that there. And the reality is, and evangelicals don't feel that they can even discuss any topics with anyone from the media outside of, not even Fox News. And the reason why is they're not going to be heard. Nothing they're saying going to be heard, because most media people are like, oh, you believe a ghost person in the sky makes the rules? That's something really ridiculous. And so that frustrates people. And they know, because the media controls a huge portion of these elections, that it's utterly impossible there will ever be an evangelical Christian president. So that's one of the reasons I think, and they knew that in 2016. They sure as heck know that in 2020. And that's why you are never, ever, ever going to have an evangelical Christian candidate who gets even a single delegate, right? So there we go. We get to Trump, right? So are evangelicals going to vote for Trump in this election? Or are they going to vote for Biden? It's a good question, right? So with Trump, they know what they're going to get. They're going to get more judges who, to other people's points on that one issue, it's a gain in their way, in that not it's going to rescind anything. It's just going to stop the momentum of that issue. They do care about stopping the momentum. They don't want to. They don't think it's even possible to rescind it. I don't think there's an evangelical Christian in the country who thinks they can rescind that. And despite what the media would tell you on the issue. So what do you get with Trump, right? The other thing is, I think evangelical Christians are very, very likely to vote for Trump again. And the reason why is they're going to get judges. And the other thing is there's going to be a chicken in every pot. And the reality is evangelical Christians, they are commanded by God to have families and to provide for those families. And they know they're going to be able to do that under Donald Trump. Joe Biden. So one, evangelical Christians do not consider Catholics to be exactly like evangelical Christians, and Catholics don't even pretend to be exactly like evangelical Christians. So Joe Biden identifies as Catholic, not even vehemently. He doesn't even do it. He doesn't even commit that strongly to it, but he does identify as a Catholic. That is going to be a blocker for many evangelical Christians. So where are evangelical? Oh, and then, so are evangelicals going to vote for Trump, or are they going to vote for Biden? Or are they going to do a write-in? All right, so let's talk it through. So one, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to tell you what I think everyone else is do. I will never vote for Trump, and the reason why is has nothing to do with my evangelical Christianity. I have a political science degree, and when you look at Trump, it is clear he is gutting the presidency, utterly gutting the U.S. presidency. He is destroying that role from the inside out, and that is going to take 50 to 100 years to fix. So, and I love this country. I want it to do well, and I can't stand around and watch while that happens, right? So I will never, ever vote for Trump. Biden. Can't do it. I don't want an 86-year-old president. Period. Period. Cannot do it. That leaves a write-in. In my state, I can do a write-in. I will do a write-in. That is right now, as it currently stands, how I plan to vote. Okay, my vote's coming up on June 2nd. All right. So how do I think evangelicals will vote? I think evangelicals will vote for Trump again. They know what they're getting. And honestly, these were not 4 bad years for evangelicals. They were fairly good. And frankly, they weren't that bad for the rest of the country either, right? That's the issue is good is the enemy of great. And that's why we're struggling in America. We're trying to get to a great country, and we can't because we have a good country. And that's a problem. Biden, one, I think no evangelicals are going to vote for Biden. And the biggest reason why is they are Christian. They are evangelical Christians. But they still have logic, right? Evangelical Christians don't walk out into a street and get hit by a car. And all you need is basic logic to understand that an 86-year-old president is a terrible idea for America. So because the blue power base has given them no real options, I think most evangelical Christians are going to vote again for Donald Trump. I will not join them. I will not join them. I will not join them. I will never vote for Trump, ever. So really, what you're going to see is you're going to see an evangelical Christian silence. Evangelical Christians generally are not going to talk about who they're going to vote for at all, right? Of course, I am a little bit different. I don't hide my evangelical Christianity, and I talk all the time about politics. So that's why. But at the macro level, you are going to see a massive evangelical Christian silence. You saw it in 2016, and it totally worked because nobody saw Trump coming. He absolutely wrecked Hillary with a roundhouse, wrecked the Democrats with a roundhouse, wrecked the blue power base with a political roundhouse. And I think they're going to do it again. They're just going to say, and when they're done, trust and believe, those evangelical Christians, they are going to feel shame for that. You will not hear a lot of evangelical Christians talking about voting for Trump because at the end of the day, they know he does not stand for any of their values in the end. So that is my opinion on where things are going to land for evangelical Christians in the 2020 election. As it stands today, I am desperately hoping that we get new options before the Pennsylvania primary. And I absolutely am desperately hoping we get new options before the blue power, the Democrat National Convention. And I'm desperately hoping we get new options before November 2nd. All that's my opinion. I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. And please have respect and courtesy when you comment. Thank you very much for letting me share this with you today. Please consider liking and subscribing and have a wonderful millennium.